Hello and welcome to Diplomatic Passport on ZTN, your daily COVID-19 show that gives you Zimbabwe's preparedness around the COVID-19 effort as well as the trends in the region and globally. My name is Blessing Munatsi. This program is brought to you by ZTN in partnership with the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. Let's start by taking a look at the latest figures released by the Ministry of Health and Childcare yesterday. 278 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded from 6,151 tests conducted. This represents a 4.5% positivity rate, taking the active number of cases to 2,519. 7 deaths were recorded, bringing the cumulative fatalities to 4,576. And the cumulative number of COVID-19 cases now stand at 128,464. And of these, 121,440 are recoveries. Zimbabwe currently has 103 hospitalized cases of COVID-19. Of these, 3 being new admissions, 5 asymptomatic, 73 mild to moderate cases, and 16 of those admitted have severe symptoms, while 9 are in the intensive care unit. Now, going on to Zimbabwe's ongoing vaccination program, 14,367 people received their first dose yesterday, brings the cumulative for the first dose to 2,976,512, while 24,855 received their second dose to bring the cumulative for the second dose to 2,106,898. So another milestone is beckoning rather for Zimbabwe. We should be breaching the 3 million mark for those that have received the first dose tomorrow, if the figures that we are recording on a daily basis are anything to judge by. Okay, so Cabinet was in session yesterday, and the post-Cabinet briefing, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Monica Mchangwa, commended the progress that has been made by the city of Bulawayo in its vaccination program, which has been largely viewed as a success. Bulawayo's vaccination coverage currently stands at 52.6% for the first dose and 40.3% for the second dose, as the city moves towards achieving herd immunity. Let's hear from Senator Mchangwa.
This translates to a national coverage of 34.7% for the first dose and 24.3% for the second dose. Of special note is that the city of Bulawayo is now at 52.6% for the first dose and 40.3% for the second dose, and that it's edging towards herd immunity, along with Matabele North, where Victoria Falls has already surpassed herd immunity. Cabinet wishes to further inform citizens that 1 million doses of Sinovac vaccines were received on the 14th of September 2021. This brings the total number of vaccine doses received since rollout of the vaccination program to 11.8 million.
Well, another topical issue is the issue of schools. This also was raised at the Cabinet briefing, and the schools recently opened following a lengthy closure during the third and most severe wave of COVID-19 infections in Zimbabwe, characterized, of course, by high infection rates that affected the safe reopening of schools. However, since commencing of the schooling term, there have been outbreaks that have been recorded at a few schools, which has fortunately been managed in accordance with the procedures and also precautions that were set in place before resumption of the schooling calendar. And the Information Minister, Senator Monica Mchangwa, said that schools will remain open under enhanced preparation and control measures, as the number of children infected is small relative to the total schools enrollment, and that the majority of affected scholars were presenting with mild or no symptoms.
This week, the number of cases recorded went up to 1,669. The education sector contributed significantly to this increase. Government has therefore instituted the following measures to contain the COVID-19 surge in schools. 1. Enhancement of surveillance and contact tracing at schools and the surrounding communities. 2. Increasing on-site COVID-19 testing of all suspected cases, contacts, and surrounding communities. 3. Isolation and management of all COVID-19 positive cases. And 4. Quarantining of those exposed. 5. Restriction of movement into and out of the affected schools until the outbreaks have been controlled. And 6. Enhancement of public health and social protocols, including social distancing, hand washing, sanitization, and wearing of face masks. And 7. Empowering teachers to detect and report suspected cases. 8. Enhancement of awareness campaign in schools and surrounding communities. And finally, 9. Vaccination of all eligible populations in schools and also in surrounding communities. Cabinet, however, noted that out of a total school enrollment of 4.6 million, the number of COVID-19 positive cases detected is insignificant. All cases are being well managed in line with the standard guidelines for the coordinated prevention and management of COVID-19 at all learning institutions. And then furthermore, most cases among learners are asymptomatic or actually have only mild symptoms. Accordingly, Cabinet resolved that schools will remain open and learners who are isolated will be provided with alternative learning platforms.
So vaccination remains a key strategy in Zimbabwe's COVID-19 fight. And like I did highlight, by tomorrow we should be able to breach the 3 million mark for the people that have received their first dose. And we also have seen 2.1 million people that are fully vaccinated across the country. Well, Zimbabwe has been consistent with its vaccination drive that has picked up momentum despite a slow start due to skepticism and also vaccine uptake within the public. The country has committed towards vaccinating 10 million people by year end to achieve herd immunity, a target that seems within reach if the figures that we have are anything to go by. And the country was recognized recently by the World Health Organization, WHO, in its efforts as one of the 13 African nations that managed to fully vaccinate more than 10% of their respective populations. And speaking during a business conference on the sidelines of the ongoing ZITF this morning, Vice President Constantino Chiwenga applauded Zimbabweans for concerted efforts in the fight against COVID-19.
I am aware that it takes a healthy nation to achieve economic growth. Without prejudice, I find it in good order to commend all the contributions and efforts that we are making together to enhance management of COVID-19 pandemic, which remains a threat in our midst. Our collective resolve has made our response mechanism effective. Resultantly, our country received acclaim and high rankings in Africa when it comes to the containment of the pandemic. Let us keep.
So vaccination of the people continues, and Zimbabwe's vaccination program continues to gain momentum and, most importantly, get that recognition. Well, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Professor Mthuli Ncube, has reassured the nation of a continued disbursement of funds, especially to go towards the procurement of vaccines. The minister said that Zimbabwe is well on course to acquiring the cumulative 20 million doses of vaccines by year end.
And then the other response is the vaccination program. Colleagues, the surplus works. I repeat, the surplus works. Don't criticize the surplus. If we did not have the surplus in 2020 of 100 million US dollars, would have been in deep trouble as a company, as a country. We would not have managed to acquire the vaccines that have gone into your arms right now. So whenever you think of the surplus, think of that vaccine that is gone into your arm. That's what this is all about. I'm dramatizing it but those are the facts. We were ready for vaccine acquisition on the 1st of January, this year, and ready to buy the vaccines. We've done very well. So far, we've spent the full 100 million. In fact, we're now at 127.3 million because we already started procuring additional vaccines, again focusing on Sinopharm, Sinovac. We will get 20 million doses, no problem. All you have to do is go and get vaccinated. But I'm assuming you're all vaccinated, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
So that's the clarion call from Zimbabwe's Finance Minister. Go out there and get vaccinated. Play your part. The commitment is there by government. We heard 127 million has been committed, or rather has already been used towards vaccine procurement. And we know that there is another 40 million US dollars provision that is being drawn down from. Zimbabwe is expecting another batch of vaccines. That's at the end of this month, and we will keep you updated and posted on that. Well, that's it on Diplomatic Passport for today, a show that's brought to you by ZTN in partnership with the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. My name is Blessing, and it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. We're back again right here, same time, same place, same channel. Do make a date with us. It's bye-bye for now.